At one point in its rich and storied history, Savannah had a problem, my little strangelings, and that problem was yellow fever. Specifically how the dead overflowed its city cemetery. Established in 1750, by the time it was decommissioned in 1853 as the city's active burial site, it was packed full to bursting. The old Savannah City Cemetery was simply done and couldn't hold anymore, and thus 2 new segregated cemeteries were created on the edge of the thriving town, and the old city cemetery? Well, they didn't do a very good job of respecting it. Although I suppose the precedent had already been set by the Union soldiers who had occupied it as a camp during Sherman's occupation of Savannah, a topic I covered when I was there in Savannah a few weeks back. I digress. As Savannah grew, the cemetery began to shrink. Today, it is known as Colonial Park, and it resides just a few short blocks east of historic Chippewa Square and the beautiful Independent Presbyterian Church pictured here at sunset. The gates closed in Savannah's oldest burial ground at 8 p.m., and on the night I took the photo of the church, my friend and I decided to walk the borders outside the wrought iron fence of Colonial Park to see if we could spot its most famous resident ghosts, and I assure you, we were not disappointed. It started when I was trying to point out the back wall of the cemetery. You see, when it was decided by the city planners to open up the cemetery as a park-like setting, they chose to pull up every other remaining headstone and bolt them to the brick wall that abuts the historic district's police station, rather than respectfully disinter and reinter the poor folk buried beneath them in one of the newer cemeteries that had been opened while the old city cemetery overfloweth. I suppose, like with most things municipal, the decision was made in the interest of cutting or saving costs, but I digress again. It's best to avoid that soapbox, and I feel as though I would be preaching to the choir anyway. Indeed, Colonial Park Cemetery used to be many times the size what you see today, and it is not uncommon to unearth bones and bodies while roadwork and other construction nearby in the area surrounding it goes on. To be sure, it's caused a certain amount of restlessness among the dead interred here, and as we walked, I thought sure I'd caught glimpse of movement within the locked gates. My friend Josh and I slowed, and we strained our eyes, searching within the deep and dark shadows obscuring the back wall from our sight. We had ourselves convinced for a moment that we were seeing things, but then, as we rounded back the side of the cemetery, it happened again for Josh in a different part of it. Whether you enjoy Colonial Park during the day for its beautiful park-like setting and to enjoy its rich history, or whether you go at night to see if you can spot the reported green mist or moving shadows among the remaining headstones and burial vaults, I encourage you to remember that as you walk the cracked sidewalks and streets surrounding this place, you most assuredly walk above the forgotten. For after all, the few markers that remain that you do see are the barest fraction representing the over 9,000 dead interred here, including the remains of James Stark, which is the man that Dr. Philip Minus from Laurel Grove North killed and the subject of one of Savannah's most enduring ghost stories. But more on that later, my little strangelings. For now, I'm out of time.